Welcome to the Hold for Everything podcast. This is episode.
I've been running
It's fine. Just you can keep whatever it is that you decide to keep from this conversation.
I think it's fine. We'll just we'll do a funny little thing where I'll play the intro music. We'll have this whole video game conversation, and then you'll say "Welcome to Hold for Everything" podcast, and I'll just play the intro music a second time.
Or it's just the music playing over us talking about Elden Ring, and the NFL.
On loop until it hits the time mark.
Sorry for the inconvenience. Yeah.
And I was like being super careful not to make a noise because I was rolling a joint, and I know that like we can see it in the top, but on the record you can't. Like it's just a one screen. So I was like, don't make a noise. Just keep it.
Yeah, roll up the joint. Have you ever smoked on the pod?
No, because here's the thing. I think
YouTube will fuck us up. Who cares?
Yeah, because we're in New York and it's still in that spotty, like, oh, it's legal, but it's not legal yet kind of situation.
I don't care. Nobody cares. Anyway, what were we talking about? Competition it creates a better environment altogether. You know,
not universally, but like for these things, for products, I think it makes a better environment.
Well,
I don't think competition in like every workplace is a good thing.
No, I guess I meant entertainment, video games. You
want a sense that you have to do better than something. Like it's just what it guarantees is a lack of complacency.
It's capitalism at its finest.
Well, I watch wrestling and that's what we all kind of thought would happen when WWE had some sort of competition, but
don't they have more competition now than they've like ever had before?
Well, I mean, there's way more wrestling now than there was before, but there's only one major competing company on TV on a national channel.
Yeah, but isn't WWE like losing wrestlers to that company? I thought I saw a bunch of headlines around that.
They're losing wrestlers, but WWE is making so much money. They made so much money off the pandemic, and they make so much money off of like these Saudi Arabia shows that literally nothing matters. So they can get rid of all. I think they're getting ready to sell. So they're
don't
getting
know who that is.
Who?
Whatever name you just said, to sell.
I said I think they're getting ready to sell.
Oh, I thought you said I think they're getting rid of Decel, and I was like, I don't know if I can clue who that is.
No,
but to be fair, you could have said like a real wrestler, and I would probably still have that response. Like,
I wouldn't do that to you. That's not. If I do talk about wrestling, it'll be in the most vague and like broad way. No,
I like the Polynesian wrestler.
No idea who that is.
I think he's The Rock's cousin.
I was about to say, do you mean The Rock?
No, not Roman Reigns, his cousin.
That's Roman Reigns. Yeah,
but they have more relatives, and they used to be a tag team, and he's got long hair, and he dates the girl wrestler that's like glowy. She's like glows in the dark.
Yeah. It's either Jey Uso or
Jey
Jimmy.
Uso. That's it. That's him.
They both look the same. They're twins.
But I like Jey. That's the one I like.
All right. Anyway,
nice.
Well, since we're talking about wrestling, the competition AEW, there's rumors that they're going to jump to HBO Max and have some sort of a streaming service with them. They just bought out a really big independent company, Ring of Honor, and now there's rumors that HBO Max is going to let them stream on there.
That's what ROH stands for.
Where did you see it?
I have a bunch of friends that watch wrestling, and so I'll see like tweets and Facebook posts just talking about. It's like I knew it was wrestling, but it's like ROH wrestling, and I know it's all of them are three like just initials.
Right. So sometimes you just don't even know what the fucking difference is.
Yeah, I don't know what AEW means. I figured the W means wrestling, but like.
Yeah, you got
athletic entertainment wrestling. Like,
it's all right. But like, if I told you, it'd be a long explanation anyway. But
it doesn't matter. All I'm saying is like it didn't occur to me. Like there was nothing in me. I was like, I gotta find this out, man. Because like I said, I'm not into wrestling.
But you had friends that were posting about it, about the Ring of Honor.
Well,
thing?
yeah. just over time. Like,
I see.
In a general sense, I remember reading their posts that just said ROH wrestling, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck that is. Sounds weird, bro. And then turns out it's actually a thing.
It's a thing.
The Jaguars owner bought them.
The Jaguars owner is the owner of AEW, and he bought Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Because over the pandemic, so basically what happened, to make a long story short, a lot of the reason that AEW started was because of a lot of the big names that were in Ring of Honor. So because those big names left and then they got hit by the pandemic, Ring of Honor ran out of money and they pretty much went bankrupt. And then, they were pretty much done as a company. And then on Wednesday, Tony Khan, the owner of AEW, was like, I bought them, motherfuckers. And like, it's a big deal in like the wrestling world, but I don't really, it'll be interesting. We don't have to keep going about talking about it because I know you guys don't really watch wrestling, but I just thought the HBO Max thing was interesting because WWE has Peacock. AEW, I guess it's not official yet, but they're going to have HBO.
I was gonna say, I think that would be pretty big because, like you said, that WWE basically runs unchecked. Like the AEW, ROH, and all them were like a tier below, and then WWE was like the big mainstream guys. Right.
Basically.
So suddenly, like another player having like a connection like HBO is pretty fucking big. I think. Yeah,
that's huge. Not only that, they're gonna have like the entire library that Ring of Honor had, and Ring of Honor's been around for like 20 years. So it's not. AEW's only been around for 3 years. So if they do go on HBO, it's like, okay, we're gonna have 3 years of footage, but now it's like, no, you're gonna have 20 years of footage of this smaller company that people did used to watch.
Well, you could also, if they're savvy, you can just steal the sects, groups, things.
Well, apparently WWE is like shitty to their wrestlers. So like if you get a big enough audience where you could pay the same as WWE, that's a game changer.
Yeah, I mean that's a big reason as to why the wrestlers are leaving, because it's like, okay, well, I can get paid the same from this billionaire who owns a football team somewhere else where everyone's treated nicely. Like maybe not as many people are watching, but I'm going to get paid the same. And like, I can have a Twitch channel and I can have a YouTube channel and not get yelled at by some old 75-year-old man who doesn't understand the concept of
Which
like
is so
Twitch
weird because they have, they do those reality shows now. So like, it's so weird that he doesn't allow them to have that.
Well, he gets a piece of those reality shows. When they do Twitch, he doesn't get a piece of it. So
that makes sense.
That's what he doesn't like. And he also doesn't like when Vince doesn't like when wrestlers get a lot more popular than like the company itself, because then it becomes they're bigger than the company, and then they can kind of, they can ask for a certain amount of money. They can threaten. Yeah, but Cena, Cena's not going to go to a different company because now he's like, he's a movie star,
big time movie man,
right? So
does he still wrestle?
Every now and then, Vince will pay him $1 million to come back for 2 months, like it's no big deal. But a lot of them don't come back because just in case they get injured. That's why The Rock never shows up, because he's filming 365 days a year, and even if he wants to come back, it's like, okay, if I get hurt, there's like 2 movies that are kind of fucked now.
Did you know that The Miz got famous from the real world?
Yeah.
I didn't know that until like this year. I was like, oh shit,
I don't even know who that is. So
great. Wonderful.
I did see an interview with John Cena, because I guess before Cena was a movie star, he called out The Rock for like not wrestling as often.
Yeah.
When The Rock started making movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it was a recent interview. I think this was
before they feuded on TV, but he has later apologized to The Rock. He's like, now I understand.
Yeah, exactly. That was basically the interview where the guy brought that shit up, asked him like, now you do movies. Do you like have a... And Cena interrupted and was just like, oh yeah, I'm a fucking hypocrite. Yeah. But it's because I had no idea. Like I had no idea. It's like suddenly, like, now I wasn't on sets, I wasn't doing these things, now I am doing these things, and I realize what he was realizing back then was these are multi-million-dollar productions, and if I'm get hurt, that delays everyone else's time. If I get hit in the face and get a black eye, that delays everyone's time. If I like all the things that come with wrestling can drastically fuck a budget on a film, basically.
It's
like,
not it's even more than that. It's like if you realize you can get paid 5 times the amount working as a wrestler for 3 months and getting paid not as much, you're gonna, you're just gonna do the math on that. Like, it's nothing against where you came from. It's just like, I'm kind of dumb if I don't do this movie. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like what you guys say about the union. It's basically that.
Yeah,
like,
that's literally about to say, like, I can't imagine being in a situation where I can make better money than I currently am and turning it down. Can you, Eric?
No, but I mean, that's really what's so. I mean, to end this wrestling conversation, yesterday I did like my first PA gig in a while, and I'm sitting there in the van in the truck, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I'm making $225 to sit in this truck. I just ran around. Like, I don't mind driving the truck. I love driving the truck, but it's also just like, this is chump change now compared to what I just made for the last 3-4 days. And people are, I don't really care, but you'll get an attitude here and there. And I'm like, dude, I'll leave this truck right here. I'll go home. Like, I mean, I never,
Isn't it so much nicer to work on sets where you just have that attitude, like, like things are okay for you right now, so it's like, I don't need this actually. That's
basically what happened. I'm like, I'm talking to this. I'm like, I just got a 5-day gig. The hall called me 2 minutes ago. You're giving me attitude. I'm about to make more than you, and you're the producer of this movie. I'm gonna make more than you a day for the next 5 days. Like, and I'm gonna work for like 3-4 hours rigging a set, and then I'm gonna go home and have 12 hours of my day, and you're giving me attitude. And it was just, I don't know. I just like,
he's already got the union complex.
But I'm not gonna say that out loud, but it was just like,
no, you're right. You're totally right.
But maybe it's even better to do those jobs, because it's like, it'll just, I can just brush off somebody giving me attitude, because I'm like, I don't really care. Like, normally it's like, well, I want them to like me, but if somebody gives me attitude now, I'm just like, all right, whatever. I'm not going to fight you on it. Or if it persists, then I'm going to be a dickhead back, because like, you don't know me like that, and you don't know, I don't know. I can give a name.
Go for it. Do it. Expose. Go.
You might actually know.
Let's get dirty.
No, he didn't. To be honest, he didn't.
Expose him.
He gave me a slight attitude, and then somebody else said, "Yo, he's been giving me attitude all day." So that's the only reason why I was like,
"All right, who?
Tony Manza, I think is his name.
Oh my God, I do know him.
Okay, well,
I don't.
He's the one who got me my 50 shoe jobs.
We love Tony Manza here, man. We love him.
What kind of shoe jobs?
What?
Like, what kind of shoe jobs?
I think she said union jobs.
I did say union jobs. Jake, what's up with you today, dude?
Come on, I'm
tired, bro.
You don't know how to read text? You don't know how to hear things? Come on, what are we doing here?
I know how to read text and hear things. That was the you of today, bro. I had to go to New Jersey. I had to load an entire set of like fucking, I don't know, Winnie the Pooh set that's going to fucking Chicago. It was a weird day, and it was tiring.
Winnie the Pooh on Broadway?
No, it's not on Broadway. It's a traveling show. So like they're going to Chicago for like a month or two, and then they're going somewhere else for a month or two. Like it's not a Broadway set.
I feel like there's
right though. I do typically work on Broadway sets, but
I feel like there's some hilarity in Winnie the Pooh being in the middle of Chicago, this fucking war-torn state.
Yeah.
Why, you've never seen the gangster Winnie the Pooh meme?
Yeah, I fucking I built it. It makes more sense when you realize that I built the 100 Acre Wood. or like I helped build the hunt. Like that is, and by the way, when I actually like saw that written down as an adult, I was like, that's not that much wood. Like 100 acres is like big landmass, but it is also like, it sounds fantastical when you're a kid, but then you're like, that fits in a single state. Like it's not really all that mythical when you really think about it. It's like there are people who own 100 acres and it's not even like the biggest property in that state. Like, so like it's this magical land lost a little bit of magic when I realized like that's feasible for someone with some decent wealth in like Montana. Like